Welcome to The Terrible Take, a daily segment telling Steelers Nation what's on our mind.
Hi, I'm Melanie Friedlander, and welcome to My Terrible Take, coming at you every Sunday, courtesy of Steelers Depot. What a roller coaster ride that was today, but as Steelers fans, do we ever expect anything different? Here are my initial thoughts from the upset win in Buffalo. The first play of the game, allowing the Bills a massive kick return, was not characteristic of how special teams had played in the preseason, and it was the worst way to start the game. It was commendable that the Steelers' D held the Bills to a field goal, but those are the types of mistakes that must be avoided. To win, the Steelers' offense needed sustained drives that ended in points. We saw the exact opposite of that in the first half. The offense was stagnant, struggling to get any rhythm or convert on third down, even when it was third and short, similar to their last meeting in Buffalo. In the first half, Ben passed for a mere 47 yards, Najee rushed 7 times for 8 yards, and the team converted only 3 first downs, going 1 of 6 on third down. That's not a recipe for success, and the offensive line struggles certainly played a role in that. The first half was also a story of missed opportunities. Cam Hayward recovered a fumble forced by TJ Watt, giving Ben and the offense their best field position of the day. They couldn't capitalize on it, though, bumbling the next few downs. And on the previous series, deep in their own territory, Ben didn't see a wide-open Pat Freiermuth in the middle of the field, which would have been a clear first down, instead resulting in a punt. Twice, the defense had Josh Allen under pressure with all the receivers covered and still allowed him to scramble for a first down. That finally changed early in the fourth quarter when the Steelers' D had a huge stop, getting their man in the backfield on 4th and 1. This was the Steelers' chance to take the lead, and they finally scored a TD. On the defensive side of the ball, things looked brighter from the start. The Steelers were able to get pressure on Bills quarterback Josh Allen, making the rising star look absolutely ordinary until the final series of the first half. The first half time of possession did not favor the Steelers' D, however. It's a lot to ask the defense to spend so much time in the field, and the Bills were finally able to put together an effective drive, ending in a touchdown just before the half. But once the Steelers took the lead later in the game, the defense did their part. Another positive of the Steelers' defense was the trio of Alex Highsmith, Melvin Ingram, and TJ Watt. Despite being held on more than half the plays, they certainly should get credit for a number of poor throws by Josh Allen, who heard them coming. That doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but it sure matters. A lot. Boy, what a great addition Ingram is. And thank goodness they got TJ Watt signed. Yet another bright spot for the defense was tackling. I'll wait until the missed tackle report comes from Steelers Depot to draw any major conclusions, but Cam Sutton, Trey Norwood, and others passed my eye test. Yes, the Bills had yards after contact, but I didn't see players giving up on plays. As Tomlin says, it's not the missed tackle, it's what the next defender does after the missed tackle. Kudos also to Cam Sutton for a number of passes broken up. He's going to be an important part of this defense this season. James Pierre as well. It was without doubt the tale of two halves. While that isn't so surprising when most starters don't play much in the preseason and there was an extra week off, it sure felt like the Steelers would never come out with a win during the initial 30 minutes of play. The Steelers' offense finally came to life in the second half. Going no huddle seemed to help them develop some momentum, leading to their first points of the day. Later in the third quarter, the Bills showed absolute disrespect by going for it on 4th down instead of kicking a field goal to pad their lead. With the help of some creative play calling by OC Matt Canada, Ben marched the team down the field, and even though he failed to score a TD, at least they settled for a field goal. After eventually taking the lead, Ben reminded everyone that his arm is working fine, thank you very much, sending the ball downfield multiple times. Another reminder that special teams matters came in the fourth quarter with a blocked punt by Miles Killebrew that turned into 6 points as UG3 scooped up the ball and ran it into the end zone. No major injuries today as far as I could tell. Bumps and bruises to Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool took some hits, and Kendrick Green was briefly missing but returned. It wasn't the game I expected. I had predicted a higher score, and I've had this game circled as a loss for the Steelers since the schedule came out. But this is a gritty team that believes in themselves and, more importantly, in each other. The Steelers struggled in areas where we thought they would, particularly the young and inexperienced O-line, but there's every reason to expect improvement. It's a long season, so there's plenty of time. 1-0 for the Steelers. Here we go. Thanks for listening to My Terrible Take. Please follow me on Twitter @GirlSurgeon and check out the Terrible Podcast with Dave Bryan and Alex Kozora every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Steelers Depot.
Be sure to follow us at SteelersDepot.com and check out episodes of The Terrible Take every day at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And check out the Terrible Podcast with myself and Alex Kozora every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.